live. Hey everyone, how's it going? Ooh, banger tune, hold on. Oh, I gotta tell you, Jules just keeps amazing me. He did it again. So, how's it going everyone? First of all, best wishes. New year. New year, new me. I hope you guys had a good New Year's Eve. Got together with your friends or family, celebrated the new year or past year, however you celebrate. Yeah, and thanks for waiting. The reason I'm late, let me just dive into it right away, is I was in a call and I expected it to end way sooner than it did, but you know me, I just talk way too much. So the call ended up being a lot longer than expected. I was in a call with Mike Monday, so I'm actually going to give a shout out to Mike. He's a very inspirational guy, and actually I follow his courses, or his course. Yeah, he has a very interesting story on how his music career went and everything, and now he turned that into helping others. So he has this entire roster of people that he helps make better music, or make different music, or just, you know, getting all the blockades out. And I've talked about this last time as well, that this is something that I've been working on for a while. So last year for me was really something where I worked a lot on getting rid of all these blockades that I sort of had with, and these struggles with making music. I've sort of explained that making music, especially nowadays, doesn't really come that easy to me anymore. So I had to sort of relearn my process, or I am relearning my process. Let's say it like that. Let's talk about it like that. Because I've honestly been so focused and busy on building the business and SEKORA and the label, etc. And I'm very thankful for that. So also for you guys, everyone that's been around here. But it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and it also taken its toll on music, I noticed. So yeah, I'm getting back into the process, and I luckily have Mike to help me out with that. So we just had a chat, had a call, and I do honestly, like, he has a lot of interesting stuff. He also has a podcast on Spotify where he talks a little bit about process and how to sort of make more music more efficiently. And I really like his approach in that regard, especially for people that are very busy. You know, if you don't have much time, or you just you're always running around and you feel like, oh, I cannot just make music for 15 minutes. I need to have like a day off or whatever to sit down and make music. What he teaches is actually something that enables you to make music in short times. So what I, for example, dedicated myself to doing as of late, but I've been doing it more regularly, but especially now with the new year, is that I do, even if I have like full-on business day like I had today, one of the first things I do in the morning is one, play the piano, and second is do a splurge. So splurge is basically a sit down and you just jam on your DAW about anything that just comes up, and you go as fast as you can. You're not thinking about, oh, I need to EQ that stuff or low cut or all that stuff I always talk about. That's for the end process. So in the beginning, all you do is just sit down, you go make some piece of music as fast as you can, and that's just something that I'm teaching myself to do every morning. So I have this whole folder of ideas, whether they're good or bad doesn't matter, because you've only made them in like 15 minutes, so you can just chuck them in the trash if you don't need it. But surprisingly, a lot of the ideas that come out are quite good, and actually a couple of them I've already started turning into a track. So yeah, that being said, this is the guy that's helping me do it, and I wanted to give a quick little shout out because I really appreciate someone like him dedicating his life to helping others. I guess also in a similar way of what I'm doing with the stream here, but I don't do this full time. I just do this whenever I feel like. Yeah, I do want to do it more regularly, so up till now we have planned to just do it every week, but that also sometimes means I'm gonna have to shorten the streams. And I did notice that, especially past year, the stream has gotten more popular. We've gotten more and more tracks, so there's two solutions to it. One is skipping tracks, very unfortunate, and two is going through tracks a lot faster. I'm gonna try and go through tracks faster, but if that doesn't work, then I will have to start doing like the priority system, where people that donate, they get top priority, which is still a thing. But even if it's just €1 or $1, whatever, it's like you really want feedback, and if you want to skip the line, you have to donate. So yes, that's a thing, but I also try to get to everyone's submission. So I will always try to get to everyone's submission, but yeah, if we keep getting more and more tracks every week, at some point you just don't have time to go through all of them. So today we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 already, so that's already going to be quite tight, but we're going to go through it. Okay, that's 8. All right. All right, well, we'll see how far we can get. I do have to cut it in about an hour and a half, so just letting you know beforehand. There's also a little thing I wanted to do in between, but first we're gonna go into some tracks. Otherwise I just keep talking and we're not listening to any of the music. So the first one is by EZ. Good vibes, I like it. Has a little bit of Lane 8 vibe to it. remember, is actually quite new. I like this melody. It's a nice little earworm. Oh yeah. No way we would have made that in 20 minutes anyway. I like this song. It's catchy, has good elements, nice bass line. Very uplifting vibe as well. Hey Ava, how's it going? Also got Mid Swarp in there. Marty. What's up, Marty? Dummy Splash, of course. Pink Witch. Yeah, I like the song. It's a good track. I don't really know. Factful also there. How's it going? I don't really know where to give you feedback, so I'm gonna have to skip a little bit through it. I think. So yeah, here with this transition was the only thing where I noticed that could be a bit smoother. So either wait with introducing the vocals, like just a little bit of a gap, like a little bit of a silence, or already fade out some of the elements in this intro section here, and then have maybe like a reversed reverb effect, so that vocal like slowly comes in, so like it doesn't come out of nowhere. So that's the only feedback I have for this part. And I'm not sure if you're low cutting that bass line around here, but maybe you can low cut a bit more, or have it stop just before the drop a little bit. Do you feel like that? It's a nice sound, but I think it would benefit if you'd have some like reverb or echo effect, like just a little bit of wet, so it delays a bit more, there's a bit more wetness to it, so it sounds a bit more special. Because I have a feeling that you took some inspiration of Lane 8, because it sounds very similar in this type of track, and I think that's what he does. So he like either layers or has like effects on his leads that make it sound a bit more special, and these leads or these arps, they sound a bit dry, and they're not fluctuating or changing as much over time. So yeah, I suggest like having a good listen to some of those lane 8 tracks, like zone in on what that lead is doing, because it sounds very simple, but yeah, it's more in the details. That's where he makes a difference. I think there's also like a course online or some videos, like a very old one, but it does give you a perspective on how he makes his music. Even though it seems very simple mixing wise, there's just like these little things that make it stand out a bit more. And even though it's a good track, you could probably release it as it is and it will probably do fine. I think you could improve a bit more in the details. That's all I'm thinking about this. Everything else sounds pretty good. I mean, around here you could do some alternating melodies or something that's a bit bigger, a bit more special, something more memorable. That's what I tend to do in this part of the breakdown. Of course, that's optional, but if you want to increase the memorability of your song, I think this is a good part to have, like either some extra lead or some alteration of your arp or melody, have something unique to make it stand out. Yeah, other than that, I really like it. It's a good song. I mean, it's pretty catchy, so good job. Good first draft, I would say. It's kind of funny because the first time I saw this name, EZ, I was thinking that you were one of my friends, but I think his name is AZ Music. Let me check. Yeah, it's AZ Music. Like Easy Music, is it Easy Music or AZ Music? So the guy who tags my radio show, he actually yeah, I actually know him, but I thought you were him. All right, let's go into the next one straight up, and after that, I think that's good because then we have Pinkowitch. After Pinkowitch, I want to do a cool little sesh with you guys for the New Year's. I'm also curious to what you guys did. Like, did you go anywhere? Did you hang out? You make music? I don't know. What did you do for New Year's, or any New Year's resolutions going on? Stuff you want to do or incorporate in your life, or want to change, or I don't know. Go wild. Give me something to go on. I mean, the chat it's not very lively as it is right now. So either you guys are super tired or just not very talkative. I like this. Solid bass line. I gotta tell you guys, I'm very tired as well, but I'm soldiering through this one. I said I was gonna stream, so I will do it. Definitely tell someone has been getting lessons with Tim Green. Maybe we should get Tim on the stream. That'd be cool, right? I wonder if he's open to it. I think he will. Yeah, and the funny thing is, Lil Youth takes a lot of inspiration from Lane 8. That's pretty obvious, I think. Especially when he changed his sound, you can definitely hear where he got his inspiration from. Sounds very similar. Yeah, this is good. I like it. Makes you wanna go to some tropical island and just chill out. Some birdies in the background. Pina coladas on the beach. Let's go to Vibesville, yo. I like how you're incorporating more and more like ear candy things, background type of stuff, and yeah, I enjoy it. I think where there are still opportunities is probably in the stereo background sounds, like pads and strings, like sort of evolving type of sounds. And I think because, you know, you also had your lessons with him, you take some inspiration from him. If you zone into some of his tracks, I think that's where the difference is. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure if you already mixed and mastered this, but I think even though your drums are pretty on point, you can probably tighten them up a little bit. So like grouping them up and then putting a little bit of bus compression and a bit of saturation on them. I think it will like tighten the drums up a bit more, like glue them together. And you'd still have the same chill vibe, but then a bit more dance to it, I think. Again, it's hard to hear, but I think that could be something that could help. Yeah, other than that, I don't really have a lot of feedback. Arrangement is you know, it's pretty good. I think it's a nice like background track, but there's nothing that sort of sticks with you. So I know that might not be the goal of this track, but yeah, it's a nice background in between track, but it doesn't it's not as memorable as some of the other stuff I've heard within the genre. So I guess it's up to you, of course, to decide what you want. So let's say you want to have something with a catchy melody or whatever, then which is maybe a bit shorter and a bit like more streamable. But that is not what you were going for, I think. So yeah, tightening drums and maybe look at some evolving pads for in the background, or changing that up a little here and there. I think that could help. All in all, good track though. All right. Yeah. So let me grab my my little notebook here. I mean, I don't want to call them New Year's resolutions because I really don't like that word, and I also don't want to point it out. Well, maybe a little bit because it's New Year's, but more, as a little bit of a reflection on what 2022 has brought and what this year is going to bring. But then I will have to actually find my own goals though. So yeah, what I want to talk about, I'm just curious. So apparently I don't have them written down here. Great. Okay, well maybe there's points here. Anyway, what I want to talk about. So you probably guys, you already know, I'm a big advocate of goal setting. It helps you put a clear focus on what you want to do, and it also helps you reflect on the things you've done and how you can grow from there. You know what? I wanted to do something with you guys, to do something active instead of you guys just listening. I want you guys to actually do something this stream. And I mean, we're not gonna do a writing session together, but like, promise yourself that you actually do it. I also talked to some of the guys on the Discord about this, that we were gonna do this and write down our goals and what we want to do. So I think I talked about it last time a little bit as well, and we shared some of it in the Discord. So it's probably something we're gonna do after the stream again, where we get together on the Discord a little bit, hang out, just chill, have a laugh. And I think it's a good time to, it sort of is homework, Marty. You're here to relax, but I'm giving you homework anyway, baby. Let's go. Yeah, no, it is sort of, it's homework, accountability buddies, whatever you want. But I think it's a good moment to point out, this is something that I do on a regular. Just writing out like what you want to achieve in certain moments in time, like what you want to do within a month, within 3 months, within 6 months, within a year. You'll be surprised how much you can actually achieve within a year's time. People tend to underestimate what they can do in a year. A year can be insane if you allocate your time and focus appropriately. But you need to do, you can only do that by actually doing some goal setting. So I'm curious if some of you guys, when you think about it, if you've written it down or whatever, just drop it in the chat. Could be short, can be a long essay, I don't care, just whatever comes in your mind. Just share, like, what do you want 2023 to look like? Like, what do you want to achieve in this year? Anything musical, anything business wise, maybe personal, getting more connected with your partner or with your family, with your friends, making more music, releasing more music, any type of goals. So okay, we got Dummy Splash, 100k monthly listeners on Spotify this year. It's a very good goal, and it's also very achievable, and I definitely think you can do this in a year. So okay, let me also share you some of mine, things I've written down. Selected release is also a good one for sure. So some of mine would be making more music, releasing 12 tracks this year, so 1 track a month. I'm probably not going to be able to release one in January, so that will mean I will have to do 2 tracks in a certain month this year, which is doable, if I include remixes. So yeah, 1 track a month, that would be my goal. Also, I'm at 200,000 monthly listeners now. Like, my ultimate goal would be to get to 1 million monthly listeners this year. That would be my ultimate goal. And I want to double my income Normally I don't really care about sharing any numbers, but yeah, this is, you know, income is still kind of personal, so I'm not going to discuss how much I'm making, but I want to double it, and I have a feeling that is very achievable this year. I also want to do 10,000 sales. No, 10,000. Yeah, why not 10,000? I was going to say 1,000 sales on the course. That would be an amazing goal if you can get 1,000 sales. But looking at how wanted this course is, I'm actually gonna adjust. Oh, the camera just went out. Let me check if I can re-add the camera. That's weird. Ah, it crashed. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, we can do it like this. There you go. Got a little preview button here as well. Yeah, this works. Is it correct, or are we in mirror? No, mirror or flip. Whoa, 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 whoa. Which way am I going? Whoa, where am I going? Flip. There we go. Yeah, this works. Stupid GoPro. Sick. Don't buy a GoPro. Terrible. Yeah, so I was at the course. I have a good feeling. At first I was like, you know, 1,000 sales for in a year's time, you know, that would be like ultimate goal. But I'm like, at this moment I'm like, go big or go home, I guess. And since I'm already home, I'm gonna go big, and I'm gonna aim for 10,000 sales. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. If that would work. If that would, yeah. No, yeah, maybe 5,000. 5,000 is more realistic. Okay, I'm gonna go for unrealistic high goals. So 10,000. That'd be pretty sick. Yeah, what else? Throw in your goals. I have also a goal. It's more about a process, changing my process. So my process would be to make music every day, whether it's only 5 minutes or 10 minutes, doesn't matter. Have a commitment of 2 minutes. So I've learned. I watched this video like a couple months ago or whatever, where this guy was explaining this concept of if it takes 2 minutes to do, like something that's been on your mind or on your plate, if it only takes less than 2 minutes to do, just do it. You know, just do it right away, get it out of your system, just have it done, whatever, you know, so you don't have to think about that stuff anymore. Stop pushing it off. And then the second thing is, if it's a big thing, something that you like really looking up to, and something that you want to consistently do in your life, whether that's be working out or meditating, or in my case playing piano and meditating and working out and making music, all those type of things. 2-minute rule. Oh, is that from the book? I read that book, but I don't remember it. It's been years, so probably should read it again. But yeah, just commit yourself to doing it for 2 minutes. So I commit myself every day to play piano for 2 minutes. And if it sucks after 2 minutes, I just stop playing. But at least I played the piano. Same goes with music production. I open up Ableton every day now. Commit myself to 2 minutes. And even if I just make one shitty ARP, you know, that's my commitment for the day. That's all I need. It usually turns out, like, it usually turns into a half an hour or an hour or 2 hour session, but that's you know, that's not the point. It's about creating habits. So same with working out. Try to do it every day at least. I mean, I live in the Netherlands and I have a bike, so that in itself, just going to the office is already a workout for me, sort of a little bit, especially with the heavy winds these days. But yeah, stuff like that, you know. So that's for me is a big goal, and it's actually a process that can get me to all the other goals I want to achieve. So makes sense. Let me check out some of the others, and then we can go into another track. We can continue on this little chat later, of course. Yo, so what do we have? Arshant selected release. Mix Warp, I'm getting on the roster. I sure hope you do, man. Pink Witch 1, produce music every day. That's a good one. I like that. Sign 6 to 10 tracks with 3 labels or with labels, and then 3 play my first out-of-state gig. That's a big that's a good goal. Yeah, that's definitely a good goal. Thomas, yo, what's up? Dummy Splash Cash, make money. That's a good goal. My in-house paparazzi. Oh yeah. I give. Rediscover Photoshop and give Mixwarp a little facelift. Why? He's a beautiful man. He doesn't need software for fake photos. Does he? He's right, Thomas. So she could be better. Yeah, the 2-minute rule. Yeah, I'm gonna read up on that book again. Sounds interesting. It's funny because sometimes you read a book and you learn a thing or two from it, but then when you read it again years later, it has a completely different meaning because it resonates different with whatever is going on in your life at that moment. So yeah, I've had books that I reread, or sometimes even movies or series, something that you watch, that all of a sudden are completely different from the first time you read or watched or heard it. Alright, X-Phil needs vocal. Is that the name of the song? Or is that what it needs? Skip the second. I think it has good elements, but it's not quite there yet. The main lead, I'm not completely convinced on the sound or the melody itself. The melody sounds it sounds a bit static, so it's like the notes are paced the same. There doesn't really feel like there's any swing or groove or anything going on there, so it's like very static notes. I would play with the placement a little bit and also try different melodies, so you don't always have to settle for the first melody that comes up when you start jamming with a loop. So let's say you have this loop going on, and then you just make on top of that with that same synth or same sound, or maybe try a different sound or whatever, make 5 different melodies, like alterations, and just play through them and see which one actually sticks. It's also like a thing I saw someone do once was play some melodies but then don't record it, and then go back to it in like a couple minutes, and if you remember the melody, if you can replay it on the keyboard or in the piano or whatever, then it's probably a good melody if you remember it, if it sticks with you. And if you forgot, then you could just be like, well, then it probably wasn't good enough. So that's like a nice little filter or technique to find good melodies. To, you know, if you play it on your keyboard, you don't record it, and then if you can replay it in a couple minutes later, or like maybe like 10 minutes, 15, whatever, then it probably is a good melody. You can probably stick with it. So yeah, try some alterations on that melody, I would say, because this one just doesn't really do it. When it comes to the bass, the kick in the bass and that tom sound, you might want to tighten that up as well. I mean, it sounds pretty good, but I feel like there are too many low frequencies clashing with each other. So look which one. I mean, those tom sounds, they don't need to have a sub bass. I usually personally cut my toms at like 100, 130 hertz, something like that, because then you still get that rhythm and that groove, but you don't need that sub bass. So I mean, play around with it, of course. If there is space for it, then you can keep it, but most of the time you can cut it, because you don't really need it. It doesn't need to go that low, because then all it does is get muddy. So hold on, let me check this. The pad sound is nice. So maybe some variation on the drums. Try to yeah, get some movement, a little bit of movement in the track would be nice. And I personally always like putting down an arrangement with intro and outro, so like an extended mix, but that's just personal preference. So because then it does give you a clear view of what the entire track should and could look like. So yeah, but yeah, the ideas are good. It just needs a bit of work. That's what I think. Cool, let's go to the next one. Siguma. Okay, I'm gonna skip to this a bit though, otherwise we're gonna be short on time. I really like is this sort of Middle Eastern type sound. Going on there. Would be nice if it comes back in that drop here. Doesn't seem to come back at all. I think that's a missed opportunity there. Has some cool sounds. I'm not quite sure about this like high sound that goes like pans left and right. This one, not my personal favorite, but it can work. Other than that, yeah, cool ideas, but it still needs some work. Also, mix wise. Most of it is, I guess, like tweaking and sound selection. that tends to come with experience, so I can't really judge that at the moment. Yeah, but definitely good ideas in here. I guess it just needs a bit more like time and experience. There's not a lot of I can really point out. Maybe, you know, since you have an outro, might as well just no, actually you have an intro. Never mind. Yeah, maybe like that transition could you could smooth that out a little bit more. Yeah, arrangement seems good though. So arrangement's on point. Also pretty solid kick. Bass line, maybe you can do like tighten them together a little bit more. So again, like a mix down thing. But yeah, kick sounds pretty good. Bass line is also pretty much there, I'd say. The rest of the sounds could use a bit more work. So that's my 2 cents. I'll check. So the next one would be Cedric. Techno, all right. Let the flow, melodic techno. Ooh, that rhymes. I don't remember this being your profile though. It's also not private. You know what? I'll give it a play. But since it's already out for 2 months and this is not a private link, yeah, because the idea is to give you feedback so you can improve your track, right? But it's okay, don't worry, because I have to go to the bathroom anyway. I'll catch the last part of the track, but we'll just we'll give it a play. I'll give you my thoughts then as well. Oh, okay. It was private, but you changed it today, or what's going on? Yeah, it does seem to be a bit on the quiet side, but that could also be because I had my volume down. Probably a good reason. I like that bass line, the dark gritty bass is pretty good. And there are definitely some cool elements in there. I'm not sure if it doesn't have that driving feeling that I'm sort of looking for with a melodic techno track. Yeah, it definitely has a good vibe to it. So I really like that part. Yeah, it just needs a little bit more work, I think. Kick could be a bit tighter. Drums in general could be a bit tighter, I think. Yeah, just tighten that stuff up a little. And I guess it would be the same advice as before, you know. Try using a drum bus, maybe a little bit of saturation on top. Grouping your drums together. That's just a mixing part. But I do like the little arps and melodies stuff that's going on. That's pretty sweet. So those ideas are definitely good. Yeah, the rest is just experience, I think, and working a bit more on that tune. I like it though. It's a bit different from what we've heard so far. So nice job on that. Ooh. Alright, got Dummy Splash. Yeah, I have to go through the tracks a bit faster this time, guys, because I don't have too much time left. And I also, yeah, I feel like if you think I'm not being very detailed, could be. But yeah, I'm just going with the first instinct of what I feel like I need to share. And in some cases, even though a track is not finished, I might not always be able to give like very detailed feedback on certain pieces, because I wouldn't know exactly how to improve it or where to start. But I can like point out the parts that feel off. And then you'll have to like find your own way on how to work with that. Sometimes all it needs or all it takes is someone to point out where you can improve. Basement Ballad with Pinkwich. Collab of the century, people. First thing what I noticed with this track is that the drums aren't as interesting as they usually are. I'm not sure what it is, whether there's a lack of progression with the drums or there's not like these little percussive elements that come in and out sometimes. Like the randomness is a bit gone. Here, for example, so that's good. That was a good part. I do like the vibe. It's really mellow. I was actually hoping that you would continue with that piano, so that's good. Yeah, I like the vibe. I'm gonna be honest. It's very mellow, but it does kind of bore me. So, and that usually doesn't really happen with your tracks. But with this one, I don't know what it is. It has cool elements, but it's not the most memorable track till thus far. And even though mixed and everything sounds on point, I don't know what it is. Whether it's like the drums that they're not changing enough, or there's nothing really going on with the drums, or some of these like melodic parts are going on for too long and there's not enough sort of variations or stuff working together to make it stay interesting for too long. Or it could be because I'm just tired. I don't know. But yeah, one of those. It's one of those. But the vibe is good, so I think it's more. I think it's just, you know, letting it rest for a little. My number one piece of advice that I tend to give a lot: give it a couple days of rest, and then when you listen back to it, you'll probably know exactly what to do, because you'll hear it as well. Because then it's out of your system, and you'll re-listen to the song, and you're like, it does tend to get quite boring here. So yeah, that's all the feedback I can honestly give. So let's go into the next one. It's Marty, and then we got Rashant. So Marty, Yuri, track review for UOAK. Here we go. like that little arp melody thing. It's catchy. I like it. The vibe is good. I like that the kick is also on point. You know, it sounds, everything sounds pretty on point. Let me check this again. Honestly, this is. Yeah, it's a solid track. Thing is, I'm not sure on how to. It feels like it's not completely finished, but I'm not sure on how to improve it, like where to pinpoint exactly what it is. Yeah, sounds are good. I mean, yeah, I really don't know. I really cannot say, because I like the song, but to me it's not. It's not completely there yet, for some reason. And it's very hard to say exactly what it is. Yeah, maybe like re-listen to some other songs in the same genre and also see what's going on with the tension release, arrangement parts, maybe variations on your ARP, cleaning up the mix. I mean, cleaning up a mix can already make a big difference, you know, just diving into making sounds sound better and also removing certain frequencies on certain sounds from other elements so they don't clash with each other. All these type of things, they can help, but it's not something that you really hear in the overall mix, is in like, oh, this one lead you need to cut off the high ends a little bit, you know, or the low ends. Like that type of stuff is I cannot hear that at the moment. So I guess it's just I give it a rest and then re-listen to it with fresh ears, dive into your mix a little, compare it to some other tracks also, and like really like zone into where usually transitions are made, or where you find that transitions should be made. And yeah, I cannot really tell you where that is at the moment. So yeah, sorry for that. I cannot help you as much, but it's also a compliment because it means that your track is very close to finished. So yeah, all you can do now is just work on it more, and the rest will come with experience. And if it doesn't work, if you can't get to that point, just try something else, work on a different project, and then come back to it later in a couple weeks or so, maybe a month, and maybe it'll come to you then. Maybe then you'll hear and be like, that's what it needed. So but yeah, the ideas, melodies are good. Kick and bass, most of it is also pretty on point. So overall good song. Let me check. Yeah, sorry Marco, I'm gonna have to skip yours because Rashant is the last one of today, but you can always try in 2 weeks. Yeah, in 2 weeks we're gonna be doing a feedback stream again. So next week we're doing what are we doing next week? Wow, I'm forgetting. I've been working all day, so forgive me for the brain farts. It's cool. I like this. Oh yeah, I got it. Next week we are announcing the winners of the remix competition. That's first. No, that's second. In the beginning of the stream, the first part, we're talking about the Spotify course. So Spotify course is coming out next week on the 10th of January, so on Tuesday. And yeah, I'm very excited about it. So then the stream will be talking a little bit about Crackles are back. Okay, let me hopefully that fixes it. Yeah, so let me know if it fixes it. I'll replay part of the song. Don't worry about it. Yeah, next week the stream. So this one today was a bit of a shorter one, but I didn't want to do a stream anyway. But I'm gonna keep it short. So after this song, we're finalizing. But next week is gonna be a big one because there I'm gonna be going over parts of the Spotify course. Also, for anyone that has any questions, so the stream and the channel is going to be shared through the entirety of Production Music Live's fan base and group. So we're going to be collaborating with them, and then I'm going to be talking about Spotify course. So people who are in doubt on like what this is, what it's about, and want to ask their questions on Spotify related stuff, but also in particular on anything that's unclear about the course so far, they can ask that in that stream. It's I'm not gonna dive into like the specifics of Spotify or anything that's in the course, because that is a stream that will be in February, because everyone that buys the course in the first month, so in January, will get access to a exclusive private Q&A stream about Spotify, like everything about Spotify. There's no stone unturned. I will share everything, so but you can ask your own questions. So most of the stuff I know and I've learned over the years, I already put in the Spotify course. But yeah, if anyone still has questions after that, they can answer that in the exclusive private stream, which will be included with every purchase of the course. So that being said, let's dive back into this track. I've been liking what I'm hearing so far, so just let it play for a little bit without me talking.
It's
Yeah, it's a good song. I like it. I mean, I don't really have much to say about this. Your Well, no, we like I tend not to. I mean, it's cool that you send it in as a demo. That's great. But most of the time, the feedback streams are to improve your song. So if it actually is a demo, it's most likely best to just stick to email. I mean, if you want to share it publicly, that's fine, of course. But most of the time, with if it's an actual like finished demo, we just take care of it on email, so you don't have to specifically send it in to the stream, because right now I'm not like in a position to give A&R feedback on tracks. I'm just here as a producer, as an artist, to help you improve on your song, and not specifically sign tracks. Of course, it happens where sometimes the ideas or the tracks are so good that I'm like, okay, send it in as a demo. But once it's sent in as a demo, we just we listen to it. Like, don't worry about it. Even though I've been a bit late on demos lately, but you will get an answer. So I'm not gonna give you an answer on stream about that. That will be on email. So either Greg or myself. But you will get an answer. Don't worry about it. I would recommend though making extended mixes, because usually it's quite hard to judge a short mix of a track. And yeah, so like this part, I can already tell you that this will probably need something extra to spice it up. I mean, it's a cool track. I like it. Piano sounds pretty on point. Arps are good. Melodies and vocal. Everything sounds cool. I really like the vibe. But I think it needs something more memorable. Something that like really sticks with you as well. Well, like, I wouldn't say that you need an extended mix. It's not about how many minutes or how long it is. It needs to feel right. So sometimes you have extended mixes that are like 4.5 minutes. Other times you have extended mixes that are closing into 7 or 8, maybe even 9 if you want to go crazy. So it really isn't about that. It's more about what type of track is it, and does it need a long intro and outro. So in this case, you would probably have to stick like another like 1 or half a minute on each side. So you would be closing in around 4 minutes, maybe something like that. But again, it's not it has to be like that. It's more about, you make the full song, the complete song as it is, because and then you can cut from there. Because right now it's hard for me to judge if I were to be able to DJ this, like if it sounds good in a DJ mix, for example. Like if there's no intro or outro, it's hard to judge it as a club track. Yeah, I guess, but the track does need a bit more work before that. So make extended mix, try to check, like zone in on this breakdown here, and some ear candy type of stuff, and try to look for a way to make it a more memorable song. The melodies are nice, and it's a nice sounding track as a background track, but it doesn't have that memorable piece that makes you want to go back to the song. It's like, it's nice in the background, and I'm sure it will stream well if it's put in the right playlist, but it doesn't feel like a song that people would like look up or would like listen to on repeat, for example. At least not yet. So it can be that, it can become that, but it will need a bit more work. Even though it's with all that said, it is a great song to finish with, though. To finish the stream, I didn't really want to go too long today. Just check out some tunes, have a little chat, See what you guys been up to. Also wish you the best wishes and a great new year, of course. Yeah, you're very welcome, dude. Let's see. I've never seen it. Well, I mean, like every label has their own preferences. Like the way I see it is, you want to send in a track that, I mean, honestly, if you send in a radio mix and they want extended mixes, but the radio mix is so good, they will probably just come back to you, okay, we like it, but we need an extended mix first. Like we need to hear an extended mix. So exactly what I just told you, you know, and then you just go back and make it. If you want to save yourself that time, you can just make the extended mix, like the longest version of the song. And if it then gets accepted as a track, you can always just make a cut, like just make a short edit of that version. I tend, you know, I feel like producing in a subtractive way, so you have a complete track and then cutting out parts to make it shorter, for me makes it like, it feels easier to do, but that's just the way I make music. Other people, they start with a short version and then make it extended afterwards. But I feel like for DJ sets and club music in general, I might be biased, but the people that make club mixes and extended mixes, or like, it's not even extended, like original mixes, long original mixes that are meant to be played in a DJ set, if they make those first and then subtract to get to a radio edit, those tracks feel more cohesive, or like they feel more complete than the people that go from, oh, I have a radio edit, let me just slap on an intro and outro. Usually when that happens, the intro and the outro, they either don't really flow well into the rest of the mix, they feel a bit rushed, they feel a little bit disconnected. I don't know what it is, but I feel like the tracks that have the original long club version first, they perform better in a DJ mix. They make more sense in a DJ mix. So that's my personal experience. That's my opinion. So yeah, do with it what you like. But I always advise, if you're making club music or you want to at least have your track played in a DJ set or mix, start with a original club version or a long version. Yeah, well, if you always send your tracks to labels that don't even release extended mixes and don't even have radio DJ mixes or whatever in general, then yeah, I get it. If they just want streaming music, I also completely get it. But it doesn't mean that if you send it, like if you were to send them an extended mix, they would probably say like, oh yeah, just cut it into a radio edit. But then you cut it into a radio edit, it will probably sound very similar to if you were to only make a radio edit, but the added benefit is that you also have an extended mix. So even for a quote-unquote streaming label that doesn't care about DJ mixes or DJ versions or club mixes at all, at least for you as an artist, you have your extended club version that you can send out to other artists to play in their mixes and live sets and whatever. It only benefits you. So for me, you would always need both versions anyway, you know, whether it be for the label that wants a short version or for yourself that wants a DJ friendly version that you can actually DJ yourself, if that's something that you do as well, but also for other people to DJ, you know. Same goes for my radio show. If I just get a radio, like a short version with no intro outro, you know, unless it's like a really, really, really good song that I really like at the moment, then I tend to not play them. So it doesn't benefit the producer. Let's put it like that. All right. Well, everyone, thanks a lot for tuning in this week. I am gonna hang out in the Discord for a little bit. I'm not gonna make it too late though, because I want to go to bed early today. I feel like I need it more than I usually do. But yeah, it was great to see you all in the new year. And next week is gonna be more amazing. I hope you have set some of your goals, stuff you want to achieve in this year, and I hope you achieve them. Make sure to share them also with the lovely people on the Discord. So I'll be hanging out in Discord for a little bit, and hope to see you there. And then otherwise, we'll see you next week when the course launches. Excited for that. All right, thanks a lot, guys, and see